Most people moving to Barrie are focused on one thing, and that is getting more house for your money, and that's fair. But there are a few things about living here that don't show up in the listings. And if you don't know about them, they can really catch you off guard. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the 5 things you need to know before making the move to Barrie. First up, winter. And I'm not talking about a little bit of snow here and there. Barrie can get some serious lake effect snow coming in off Georgia Bay, and it can pile up pretty fast. And if you're coming from Toronto or the GTA, this is on a whole different level. You're going to be shoveling snow more, driving in snow more, and dealing with winter that sticks around a lot longer than you may expect. It's perfectly normal to have snow on the ground here into March and sometimes even into April. Now, if you're into skiing or snowmobiling, this can be a huge plus. But if you're someone who dreads winter, you might want to think twice before making the move. If you live in a house in Barrie as opposed to a condominium, you're going to need at least 1 snow shovel. Better to get 2 snow shovels so you have a backup for when the first one breaks from overuse. Depending on how big your driveway is and how many people you have in your house that are of snow shoveling age, you might want to consider getting a snowblower. Streets in Barrie are not always clear of snow. Subdivisions are plowed to a lower standard than the main streets are. The street you live on could have hard-packed snow on it for weeks and months at a time. This was quite common in the winter that just passed. And there are overnight parking restrictions during the winter, so if you have a household with a lot of cars, don't buy a house with a small driveway because you won't be able to park on the street during the winter. If you can't handle winter, Barrie might not be the place for you. The second thing you need to know about living in Barrie is you're going to need a car. Barrie does have public transit. It's run by Barrie Transit, but it's not like living in the big city where you can rely on it for everything. Buses don't come as frequently, routes are limited. Getting across the city can take a long time. Most people in Barrie drive. It's just the way of life around here. So if you're used to hopping on a subway or a city bus or walking everywhere, it's going to be a bit of an adjustment moving to Barrie. Also, if you're a family with kids, you may be able to get by with 1 car, depending on your family dynamic. Does someone work from home? Can someone take transit or walk to work? But if you have a family with 2 people heading out to work every day, kids in school that need to be picked up and delivered to various kids' activities after school, you're probably going to need 2 cars. You can't just say to the kids, oh, take the bus or the subway. It doesn't work that way in Barrie. Although, this being said, if you use Uber and are used to it, it is available in Barrie. Barrie is not Toronto. You cannot rely on transit. Number 3 is commuting. Highway 400 is that black ribbon of asphalt that links Toronto to Barrie. When traffic is really light, which is very rarely these days, you can make it from Barrie to Toronto in about an hour. I don't know when these mysterious light traffic times are, maybe at 3 in the morning. I drive down there various times during the day, and it seems like it's always busy. It's not like bumper to bumper, stop and go, but there's just cars everywhere all the time. On weekday mornings headed southbound, it tends to bunch up approaching highway number 9, but it picks up past number 9 because the highway's been widened to 5 lanes south of there, including an HOV lane. And the opposite happens on weekday afternoons when people are going northbound, returning home from work. Commuting times to Toronto can vary from like an hour to 2 hours, depending on what time of day you're traveling and where you are going within Toronto. Throw winter weather into that mix and the whole game plan changes. We also get the weekend cottage traffic on Highway 400. Friday night and Sunday afternoon are the worst as people race up north on Friday night and then they got to go back to the city on Sunday afternoon. And I get it. If I had a cottage up north, I'd want to race up to it too. We here in Barrie have learned that there are just certain times on the weekend when you just don't go near the highway. So if you're planning to commute, just understand it's not always a smooth and predictable drive. Number 4 is housing. This is one of the biggest reasons why people look at Barrie in the first place. You generally get more house for your money than in the GTA. There's a good mix of detached houses, townhouses, condominiums, newer subdivisions, especially in the south end of Barrie. Barrie is a city built on the detached house. The most common is a 3 or 4 bedroom, 2-story detached model. There are thousands of houses like this built in many different areas over the years, but they're not cheap anymore. Is anywhere in Ontario cheap? Bottom line, you will get a bigger bang for your buck here in Barrie, but it's not bargain basement cheap anymore. An average 3-bedroom, 2-story detached house is going to set you back around $700,000 You move up to a 4-bedroom house and you're looking at around $850,000. And while prices have gone up quite a bit over the past few years, it's still much more affordable than Toronto. Another thing to keep in mind is that condominiums are not as common here as they are in bigger cities, so if that's what you're looking for, your options may be a little more limited. As housing everywhere gets more expensive, Barrie is building more condominiums. Overall though, for many people, Barrie still offers excellent value, especially if space is important to you. Number 5 is lifestyle, and this is where Barrie really shines. You're right on Kempenfelt Bay. You've got access to beaches, trails, boating. You don't have to plan your whole day around it either. On an evening, you can go down to the waterfront, take a walk, have an ice cream cone, and it actually feels relaxed. No matter where you live in Barrie, you're never more than about 15 minutes from the waterfront. And it's not just in the summer. In the winter, you're a short drive from skiing and snowboarding. You can buy a weeknight pass at Snow Valley, hit the slopes for a couple hours after work. Even day to day, there's less noise, more space, and a slower pace overall. You're not constantly rushing or dealing with the same level of pressure or congestion that comes with living in the GTA or Toronto. But that comes with a trade-off. You're not going to have the same level of convenience or variety that you get in a big city. There are fewer restaurants, less nightlife, and not as many options when it comes to shopping or entertainment. If you're used to having everything at your fingertips at all hours, then this may be a bit of an adjustment. A lot of people still find themselves heading to Toronto for major events, concerts, sporting events, or just more options in restaurants. I myself had to head to Toronto, deep dark into Toronto, to take a certain type of class that I wanted because there was nothing available in Barrie or even close to Barrie. Really, it comes down to what matters more to you. If you value space, nature, a more relaxed way of living overall, then Barrie can be a good fit for you. But if convenience, variety, big city energy are important to you, you may want to think carefully before deciding to move to Barrie. You're trading convenience for lifestyle. So if you're considering a move to Barrie and want to find out if it's the right decision for you, watch this next video popping up on your screen now, and it will help you in your decision to see if Barrie is the right fit for you. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions about moving to Barrie, feel free to reach out. My contact information is in the description down below.